Adding books to your personal list is a great way to keep track of a list of books that you wish to read or use in the future. Websites can also be kept track of in this list. You can save books or websites to My Personal List both in the classic view of Destiny, which we're looking at right now, or in Destiny Quest. Your list is the same even when you switch back and forth between the two views of Destiny. Let's look at how to add to your personal list when you're in Destiny Quest. The first thing I'd like to remind you is that when you use your personal list, you want to make sure you're logged into Destiny so that when you come back in the future, your items are saved. Let's go to Destiny Quest. We go to the Catalog tab, go to Destiny Quest on the second button on the left. Destiny Quest opens up to the home page for Quest. We have the top 10 books, resource list, new arrivals. If there are thumbnails under the top 10 books right now, and there aren't because it's summer and we haven't had checkouts, but those little thumbnails or pictures could simply be dragged and dropped onto My Personal List. If you want to add books from the new arrivals, you can hover on the book with your mouse and then say Add to List. And every time you do that, you'll notice that the number of titles goes up. We can do a search. Let's search for dogs. And here are my thumbnails that I mentioned earlier. If I want to add one of these and I know for a fact that I want to use it, I can just simply drag and drop them. If I'm not positive I want to use one, hovering on it gives me a little description, and then I can say, yes, I'd like to add to this list. And again, my number of titles are going up. To search for dogs on the web through WebPath, which is part of Destiny, I can click on the little web icon here. And it remembers dogs from my search term and pulls up websites that also have some thumbnails. And if I want to use one that I already know about, drag and drop. If I'm not sure, hovering, reading about it, and then saying, yes, this is one I'd like to add to this list. And you'll notice the numbers are different here than when I was on the titles, and that's because I'm just dealing with websites here. If I want to go to my info and look at my list, that's a place to see my list, look at the websites, or toggle over to the library titles, and I can see that complete list. If you want to remove something from your list, it's your job to do that. These titles will be in here, or these websites will be in here until you delete them. And you can delete separate items by clicking on the X, or you can remove all. If you want citations to say where you got your information from, you can go to the Print Options button and pick an MLA citation list and preview that. Now, you may or may not actually print it, but this gives you the complete citations, which you can then copy and paste into your project, or maybe your teacher will ask you to just print this list. It will depend on what project you have going on and the requirements for that. Getting the citations for the books is the same way. You go to Print Options, tell it you want a citation list, and then it brings up the citations for you. I'm going to go ahead and close these two windows. We're going to exit Destiny Quest and briefly look at how to open up My Personal List in the classic view of Destiny. So I'm in the classic view right now. I'm going to do a library search. I'm going to pick dogs. Do keyword search on dogs. If things are already in my list, like this book here, it tells me it's in my list. My search results allow me to add things to the list simply by clicking on these check marks or these buttons next to each book. So I want to add this one. If I'm not sure I want to add something, I can click on the title, get more information, and then I would add this item to my list if I want by clicking here. If I want to go back to resource lists and see my personal list, I can do that. I've got my library materials, I've got my online resources, and we can easily remove things from this view or get individual citations by clicking here, or to get a citation list, go to the bottom of that list and say go. And then I can use those as needed. I hope you find using personal lists in Destiny helpful.